Good evening to the Healing Seats with Busisiwe Mohapi, and welcome to my channel. No apologies, no fluff, straight into today's business. We are doing episode 22, and that's what I want to talk about. So, it's a story continuation. As you know, the last time I spoke about how I got to know my status and the confrontation that I had with my ex husband. And now I want to talk about life after the diagnosis. So, yeah, it wasn't easy at all. I would be lying to you. I don't want to lie to you and say it was easy, especially with someone who is not willing to accept their situation, because it will mean that they have to now explain to you how they got something, and they have to be vulnerable with you, and they want you to blame yourself, to see yourself as the problem. So for someone who's a narcissist and who's like that, it's not easy to tell you everything. So the only thing that he said, like I said last time, that I thought when you accept Jesus as your personal savior, all diseases disappear. And it started making sense to me. The things that I saw in his body that were not going away, but he said those are allergies. Things started to make sense. Him wanting herbs, just after we started dating, saying that he wants to clean his blood. Things started making sense. The rush made sense as well. And now I'm left with this option that I must accept that this is my new life and I have to do whatever it is to survive. My son was 14 years old at the time. When I got married, he was 13, so he had just turned 14. And I disclosed to my sister, was with me actually. It took me time to tell my mom, because I didn't want to burden her as a parent. And I had decided that I'm raising kids. I want this marriage to work. So I also didn't want her to be so upset with the son in law that, yeah. So I kept that. I think I only told my son after the divorce. Yeah, so I also protected him for a while. Yeah, because I was still digesting whatever it is that was happening to me at the time. So again, now we have this problem. Remember, the kids have left. It's only Yena and I in the house. There's no communication. It's just hello, sawubona actually. In the mornings, when he gets back from work, he's stressed. Things are not going well. He promised this person, this Chinese lady, things, telling her that he's connected to the former president and things will happen. So they went into this partnership. And he was one of the first people who drove that Toyota Quest that I said, the ones that Uber uses now. So in 2014, when we first had those Uber, those Toyota Quest as Ubers, he was one of the first people who owned it. So things are not going well. The car had to go back. And here's another thing. I don't know if I had spoken about this story where he convinced me to sell my car. When I came into the marriage, I had a car, my first car, beautiful Corsa Light Mustard, and he convinced me to sell that car. So now I was using his Polo now, because now we had 4 cars in the house. It's the one that I came with, the Toyota Quest that he had gotten from the partnership. He was using that at work. There was another Jetta, the VW that he had bought. He sold it. So now we were left with only one car. The Toyota Quest, I think the Chinese lady said, that's enough. We've gone to China, different trips. I've nothing to show for it. So they took back the car. The only thing that they left him with was the iPhone, so they didn't take that back. Yeah. And he convinced me that, okay, he's using the car now because we only had 2 cars left. He had sold that one, made me sell mine. So we had left with 2 cars, the Toyota Quest and um, the Polo. So now I was driving the Polo. All three cars were gone, and we only had one car. So he said to me, "Listen, I'm a businessman. I've done this before. I can raise funds and buy another car. So borrow me this car," because he had not done well. He knew that he had scammed me into selling that car. So now he kind of felt guilty that now I don't have a car. I came into the marriage with a car. Then he convinced me, yeah, that can he use the car, and then after a few months he'll give me the car back and he'll buy a new car. Okay, so then that was our new life. So now I'm going for my treatments. I go to the clinic, and they're checking my viral loads, they're checking my CD4 count. Although I didn't know what was going on, but I had an idea of what a viral load is, because our health workers are, yo, they have so much to do. I think it's better now because the queues have gone down, and there are people who are not allowed to come to the clinic without certain things. So things are much, much better. But the pressure, the people that used to come to the clinic, a lot of people used to come there. So consultation time would be something that it's short. You get inside, you don't even get to ask a lot of questions. I know for one that I didn't know anything about creatinine. So I was told that my kidneys are not doing well. I was not much of a water drinker, and I'd be told you need to increase your intake when it comes to water, but it wouldn't be explained to that extent that, okay, when you drink enough water, this is what it does, or what is the reason for you to drink water. It will be just a how talk to increase your water intake, but there will be no reason or explanation because the queues are long. You don't get to ask everything that you need to ask about your condition. So you get in there and you've been sitting there for 5-6 hours. So when you get your medication, you want to leave. You forget even the questions that you had. So in those days, you would be given your file. So as you go to the consultation room, you would have gotten your file from reception. But these days it's different. Your files go inside the consultation room, and as you come in, the sister will be taking the file and going through it. But those times you'd be given a file. So I would get a sneak peek. It's my file anyway. I think I had a right to go through it. But the problem is, yeah, you will read some things incorrectly there and interpret them in a different way. So, yeah. So I would get a sneak peek and read everything that was in there. So I would see that there's LTDL, and I just knew that there's a term called when they would say it's lower than detectable limits, but I didn't really understand. So I would rely on Google to check things like that. So I knew that, oh, lower than detectable limits, meaning that I'm still fine, I'm drinking my pills the way that I should. In the beginning, while I was still married to my husband, they would tell me that your viral load is not going down because I was intimate with him and he wouldn't want to use protection. So he would just reinfect me. So I knew that, but I didn't know how it worked. And although I would remind him, you need to go to a clinic. They want to see you. They want us to come and consult as a couple. And he would be just saying, yeah, I will come. And he was sick. He was sick. So he started being sick with me. There was a lot of weight loss. And he wasn't really someone who was big. So it was a problem. And his chest would always be, like an infection, coughing, and he did not have energy at all. And yeah, on his body there would be things that were not healing, like I said. So it made a lot of things made sense to me at the time that, oh, okay, that is why he was in a hurry. That is why when we met, he wanted herbs, imbiza, herbs to clean his blood. Things started making sense. I was putting one and one together, but because at first I thought, Zulus, they like, cleansing, they'd be drinking stuff. But when I found out the truth, then everything started to make sense. So again, yeah, that was our new life. He was sick, was taking care of him. He doesn't want to go to a clinic. I'm going there, I'm getting treatment alone. So the gym helped me a lot with the mental health situation where my mind would be on the positive side. I was um, praying a lot, fasting. I was actually fasting for that marriage not to end, but eventually he left. So the next time that we talk, we're going to talk about just a teaser for the next episode. We're going to talk about him finally leaving me after 11 months. We didn't make it to 1 year. We were just, we were married for longer, but we lived together for 11 months. But we only divorced in 2016, but he left in 2014. So every day I would hear about the polygamy. I had accepted that and accepted that, okay, you can get another wife. Every day I would also hear about him not being happy, him loving the Uji, and how he's going to start his life there. I remember one night I was in bed with him. He thought I was sleeping, and he was talking to G and telling Uchi how he wants to buy houses for me and do the right thing as a husband so that he leaves me in a house as his wife and then goes and builds something for. I was listening for about almost an hour next to someone talking to a woman. I think maybe she was also pressurizing him. But you are saying that, what, but you're still living with this woman. So he was trying to prove that even when it's at night or even when he's at home, to show that he wants to be with her and he can speak to her at any time. And really, that's what he was doing. When he comes back from work, he'll be outside the rooms. Outside the house, inside the car, speaking to her. Sometimes, like I said, I was sleeping. Maybe he had done it before, but I was fast asleep. So the problem was I was suffering from insomnia. Sometimes I'll be closing my eyes. I had anxiety. Emotional abuse is painful. Like, and when it has marital issues, problems that you're going through, you won't sleep. You're lying. And unfortunately for me, I never consulted. I never went to a doctor to find out, okay, this is what I'm going through, or maybe get antidepressants. I knew something was wrong. I knew I was suicidal. I knew that I probably need to be in a mental clinic and maybe getting counseling, but I didn't get all of that. So I suffered in silence. I would still go to church. And I remember there was this one lady, people, I don't know whether it's out of fear or ukuthi nje asizingeni indaba zabantu. No one asked me anything, but this one day, this other lady asked me, did I not cry? Did I not cry? I couldn't even respond to what she was asking me. I just cried. So I have a reflection for you. So the gist, if you forget anything that I said, don't forget that for some time he was in denial. He was drinking some garlic mixed with turmeric and mixed with all these things, saying that he will get better, but he wasn't getting any better because he wasn't taking treatment. He was losing weight. He didn't have energy. He had to drink, rehydrate almost. I didn't even know there was a sachet of that thing until I met him because he always didn't have energy. So I'm going to the gym, I'm a bit stronger, but now every time we're intimate, he reinfects me. And they are wondering now, as they take bloods and checking, good, we're giving you treatment, but your viral load is not going down. When we talk about viral load, we're still going to talk about a lot of things, and I'm going to educate you, especially people who are ignorant, who in 2025, believe it or not, there are a lot of people who do not know what is viral load, what is CD4 count. There are people that don't know what do you need to do to be better. There are people who still think they can pray things away. And this is not talking down on anyone's faith. I'm a Christian. I was there. I believed. You guys, there are a lot of things we're still going to talk about. Okay. So this is what I want you to, that even if you can drink those concoctions and rehydrate, when you need to drink medication, you need to drink it. Forget about this chronic disease that I told you about. Just think of your diabetes. Let's think of your hypertension. Just think of you have got cancer. You need to drink your medication. You need to drink it. If you default, you're going to get sick. Simple as that. You need to accept. You need to accept your situation so that you can drink whatever it is that you need to drink. So yeah, this is where I learned crucial things that I needed to take care of myself, my health, my healing, but I couldn't save him because that was his mind, and it has started to affect me. I will tell you on the next coming episodes how it affected me. At some point, I started thinking like he was thinking, because now I was in a marriage, I was living with this person. We were talking about these things. They would come out once in a while, and he would tell me, Gutiana, there's nothing wrong with him. It's a myth. He's drinking stuff, and this thing is going to go away. So yeah, he was reinfecting me, and forgiveness didn't change his choices. He couldn't stay, he couldn't commit, and that was on him. So he decided to leave. Yeah, so we'll talk about that, Guti. I found out in August about my condition. September, October, after 2 months in November, he left. Yeah, so sometimes it doesn't matter how much you love a person, how much you want to change them, how much you think they can change. You can't pray some things away. You cannot love people into loving you. You cannot help someone who's in denial. You can try, but it's difficult. It's a personal thing. It needs self-work, self-awareness. You need to work within yourself. So, yeah, it was, I survived 11 months, but it seemed like 11 years. From episode 1 to this episode 21, 22, you can imagine the things that I've gone through in that marriage. So, yeah, it was going to be intense. And I had not expected it. There were people who were already wishing him to leave, although they didn't know the whole story. Especially my mom, she could see that I'm not happy. So yeah, it's still going to be intense. Even the next coming episodes, you need to stay tuned. And I'm sorry for disappearing. A lot was going on in my life, but good things. Yeah, challenges will always be there. So I've got 5 reflection questions for yourself. You must ask yourself those questions. That's how we end everything. And I've also got questions for you as a viewer. So this one, I'm asking myself and I'm giving you an answer. Maybe some of the questions you're asking yourself about me. How did I maintain my strength while he was refusing help? The gym helped me. Like I said, the more I went there, it helped me. My immune system was a bit strong. And because I was abused, I was trying, but if he said something and he said it, with authority, and I knew I couldn't change it, I just left it like that. So when did I start seeing my own health as my responsibility? It took me time, but I think when I saw that he's not getting better, he's been sick, it's been weeks, a month, but he wasn't saying he's sick because of the sickness or the chronic condition. He was just saying that it's stress. So he was really, really in denial. So what lessons did I learn about forgiveness and boundaries? Now, not then, is that you can forgive someone and not want anything to do with them. You can have boundaries. This will not be done to me. This is not how you talk to me. This is not how you treat me, because you've got boundaries. It took me books that I read. I had to read books because I love reading. So it took me going to therapy to have all those things. So those things helped a lot. With forgiveness, God has been teaching me this all my life. Remember, I've been raped how many times? I've been abused as a child, and God showed me that you forgive for you, not for the other people, because the poison eats you. The more you do not forgive, not because they deserve to be forgiven, but because God says we need to forgive. He knows why. It helps you. It helps your health. your peace of mind. Because if you're not forgiving, you'll be sleeping thinking about people at night. So I learned a lot of things about forgiving. So okay, how did the denial affect our relationship and my healing? It affected it a lot. I talk about that in the next episode, because it affected me. I started thinking like he did. Like I said, this is someone I was married to. We're sleeping on the same bed daily. So how did surviving his sickness and abuse shape my future choices? A lot. um if I see signs of abuse, I don't wait for you to actually abuse me. I run. And it has made me to be a harsh human being, even on my children, on my daughter. There are things that I've done that I didn't like, the things that I used to enjoy easily. Trauma changes you, abuse changes you, going through a lot changes you. You need to work hard to go back to being the person that you used to be before the trauma, before the abuse, before everything. So, here are 5 questions for you now as a viewer. Have you ever had to protect your health while caring for someone else's? That's number one. Protect yourself, Ndase. If you've decided to forgive someone and stay in that situation, protect yourself and your health. You've got your children to live for, you've got your family to live for. Protect yourself. Number two, what does forgiveness look like to you in a toxic relationship? Ask yourself that. You can forgive someone, but you don't have to stay in a toxic relationship. How do you navigate love when the other person refuses help? That's it. I experienced that a lot when I was working in the health sector and the clinics, where I'll be counseling someone, or I speak about adherence and other things, but the person would say, but he doesn't want to come. What must I do? He doesn't want to use protection. What must I do? Have you ever felt the weight of someone else's denial in your life? That's a question for you, Mdas. I mean, I've felt it. And number five, how do you take ownership of your healing when the system doesn't guide you? Whether it's HIV, whether it's diabetes, whether it's asthma, whatever chronic disease you have, cancer, name it, hypertension, it's your responsibility to find out what do you have, what makes you worse, what medication should you be drinking, when, what do you not eat, what should you eat. It is your responsibility. Although yes, you need the system to guide you, like the health colleagues, my health colleagues, my ex-health colleagues, but you also need to be responsible. It's your responsibility. You need to use protection. No one is going to go and buy protection for you and put it on you and use it for you. You need to eat certain foods. You need to exercise. It is up to you. And as I'm saying this, I'm also saying it to myself. So let us take care of ourselves, and next time we'll talk about him leaving me eventually, because I wouldn't have left him. What I was taught, what I was told, I thought I'm not praying enough, I'm not fasting enough. My prayer room doesn't have enough stickers. If you've watched that movie, where a lot of people, War Room, yes, people will ask me, have you tried War Room? Have you fasted? Have you prayed? As if your prayers do not make sense to God. Hey, please take care of yourself. Be a responsible Christian. Don't teach your children that people can just walk all over them and it's okay because they are believers and they're Christians. And I'm also talking to you. If you really are into a relationship and that person has been taking advantage of you and you've been telling yourself that you need to forgive, they come and give you STI, you forgive, you go back. That's it. No. Love yourself. Take care of yourself. And until next time, thank you for watching episode 22. God bless you, and pray with me, please, so that this ministry, I take it seriously, whether there are funds or no funds, whether I feel like it or not. It's a ministry, it's a responsibility. Someone needs to be saved. Someone needs to know that God loves them despite of whatever they're going through, whether it's your marriage, it's a chronic disease, whatever it is that you're going through. If Busi could heal and is still healing, it's a process, you can also heal, and God loves you. With that being said, God bless you, and until next time, ciao. Mwah, mwah, mwah.